Alrighty, folks, the Fed meeting happened yesterday, and in a quite a shocker, mortgage rates actually improved. This is probably normal behavior in all honesty, but the last 4 or 5 times the Fed met, we had Jerome Powell come out and be a hawk, and lo and behold, mortgage rates went up. And frankly, I expected it to happen again, and lo and behold, I was wrong. And actually, there's been follow through to the downside. So, what's going on, Dustin? Our mortgage rates a little bit better the last 48 hours?
Yeah, they are. We've gotten, I'd say, for the average consumer, about 0.1 better on the rate. If you're looking at 6.3 Tuesday, well, it's maybe 6.2 today. And that's definitely something to, I would say compared to the last 5 times, if I'm correct, the last 5 times Feds have cut rates, mortgage rates have went up. So
Yeah.
that's a nice change. And ultimately, we know that the Feds don't have 100% whatever move they do doesn't affect what mortgage rates do. But for this time, it's a nice little change.
Yeah, it's a nice little surprise. It's a nice
Yeah.
little, because people asked me what's going to happen, and I said probably like the last 4 or 5 times, rates will go up because the market didn't expect. So I think what really happened is Jerome Powell was dovish. Jerome Powell talked about the jobs market, labor market being worse. In fact, he actually put numbers on it. He
Yeah.
said that the BLS has been reporting 40,000 additional jobs per month since April, and his numbers are negative 20,000. So
Yeah.
not only are we, much lower than the BLS, but we're actually losing jobs, and thus the reason for the quarter point cut. The other thing I thought was shocking in the dot plot is we had seven Fed presidents say zero cuts next year. So this really sets up for, I think, going to be a shocker, because I think the labor market is much worse than expected, and there may be a series of cuts in early part of next year. But lo and behold, I think the Fed was a lot more dovish than people thought. We had been trained that Jerome Powell was going to be a hawk, and he surprised us.
Yeah, especially with Christmas right around the corner. He's been the face of Grinch for everybody, and that's what they were expecting, right? Look, I don't like saying I love being wrong. I would never say
Yeah,
that. I'll
right.
admit that I was wrong because I thought
Sure.
for sure we were going to have a hawkish, move yesterday, and the 2026 predictions and rate cuts and all of that. So all of the rate cuts, I firmly believe, were done to kind of tincture and correct the market. I think if it's more in 2026, it's going to be because there's an issue or a problem that has to get done. It's not like forced now. It's not a given. It's not like this is the path we're doing. So the next cut, wish it however you may be, but
Yeah.
it's going to be a problem if we have to cut rates, more than people think.
Yeah, I think that's what I said on my daily financial news this morning. This was the last good cut. This was the last insurance cut. The next time they cut is because something's breaking, and you got to be careful what you're wishing for. So that's pretty cool. Well, again, I've been calling for a mortgage boom. We'll talk rate and term, we'll talk cash out refi, and ultimately purchase. We're going to break all three of these down. I think when you look at the mortgage data, refis, rate and terms are off the chart. Lots of people doing rate and terms up something like 100% year on year. What's going on? What are people doing?
Yeah, so we actually have like a nice little, we'll call it AI software that just tells us the amount of clients right now that we have that are like above 7% that could go a full, 1% drop, right? And ultimately, the rate and term refis we've seen. Look, our company is different in terms of who we service compared to your average mortgage company, right?
Yeah.
Most of our clients that come to us for any sort of real estate transaction are either doing right now cash out refis out of some hard money or fix and flip they did, right? Or a purchase. Okay. We don't do a lot of rate and term refis. Now we're getting a lot more rate and term refi requests because, well, it's all over the news. We've had rates drop for quite a long time now, and now it actually could at least pencil out where they're saving and recouping the closing costs in less than 3 years. That's what I always try to tell people. If it's more than 3, don't think about it. If it's 3, great. If it's 2, even better. 2 is what I would strive for. But
two's a no-brainer. Yeah, under 2. Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot more requests on the rate and term refis, but not to ramble on too much about the cash out and the purchases.
Well, let's go to that second. Because this is the part of the market that I think starts to ramp from here. Again, I think rate and term makes sense because, again, I think, frankly, in my opinion, these are not your words, these are my words. I think a lot of people gambled and got lucky. I think there were a lot of people doing the 2-1 buy downs a couple of years ago when rates were 8, and they just got lucky. So there's a lot of that, being done today, and they should, right? If you got an 8% or like soon to be 8% mortgage, or maybe you're into it a couple of months, you should absolutely refi. It's 2% lower. Your payback period is probably 18 months.
Yeah.
So it makes total sense why rate and term is up, because people were gambling 2 years ago. Cash out refi. I think this is the interesting part of this cycle, because this is what I'm doing. You know this, but for the audience, last week we talked about doing one cash out refi. We actually, Olivia and I are doing 2 with you, right?
Yep.
We're looking at 2 of our properties, both small multifamilies that have huge equity positions. And we're like, you know what? Let's go scoop up a couple $100,000 each. And let's just have a little more dry powder, because I do see there's a bunch of opportunities coming. And again, I want to be able to strike when the opportunity is. I don't want to have to wait 45 days and hope it's still there. So I think there's a lot of investors who maybe bought, 5 years ago or more, that should look at a cash out refi. And again, we're not going crazy. We're only going to 60% because we want the best rate possible and set it and forget it. We're going to buy down a little bit to get a rate we can set it and forget. But yeah, I think the seasoned investor with a portfolio that's maybe a decade old should probably look at their portfolio and go, what is there one asset I should go scoop some money from so that I can be an active buyer should things go sideways?
No, I think you nailed it on the head, and I wanted to add to it, and you tell me if this is part of your motive as well. But when you're getting cash out, like you just said, a lot of the investors that are getting cash out are to scoop up more properties. And wouldn't you say that being able to scoop up more properties now and getting a better either deal from the seller or a lower cost of the asset is more likely today or in the next 2 months than in a year from now, right?
Oh,
Because if rates go down, what's that asset going to cost you now, right?
I want to play in a market with no competition. I mean, it's just that simple. If there's no competition and I'm the only game in town, I can write disrespectful offers. I could follow up every week for 6 weeks. And pretty soon I'm the only game in town. Absolutely right, Dustin. That is exactly why I am doing a cash out refi today, is because I want to be able to write a strong offer that says close in 10 days, right? No mortgage needed. That's why I'm doing it. And again, I'm trying to get an asset at an unbelievable price, because again, I only need 1 a year. That's all I need. I don't need 10 a year like I used to do. Just give me 1 a year. But I'm going to write a bunch of offers at 60, 70 cents on the dollar, write them cash once these 2 close. And you make your money when you buy. I don't want to play next spring, next summer, when everybody's licking their chops going, okay, time to shop. I hate that environment. I hate 2020, 2021, where you've got to go off market and, compete with everybody and their brother. That market makes no sense to me. I love the market we have right now. Days on market up, inventory up, buyers down. Sign me up. Give me this market. I'll take this market every time.
No, and I absolutely love everything you just said. And that's the conversation I'm trying to have with clients that I've spoken to 6 or 7 times over the last 3 months, asking if rates are lower or lower. And I'm like, you're getting the cash out to purchase another property or to continue your career in investing. What are you waiting for? Because it's only going to cost you right now by waiting. That's all it's going to do.
At the end of the day, folks, ask yourself this: when is there least competition in your market, in your buy box? That's when you want to be aggressive. Right now, in the winter, everybody's screaming economy. Right now is the time to strike. And I look forward to being proven right once again. And then the last part of the cycle, this is where it gets interesting. Again, we talked about this was the last good cut. And I think we're both fearful that we may get a series of cuts next year for the wrong reasons. You add on top of that the fact that we're going to get a new Fed president, and it's very likely the new Fed president is going to extend duration and maybe even buy mortgage-backed securities and do yield, interest rate management, things like that. If we get rates at 5.5, if that is going to blow up the purchase market. It's going to get wild. Even if the unemployment rate goes to 5.2, because that still means 94.8% of people are employed.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild if that happens.
We've said it. I mean, I think even at the fact that January, February, we might have the average 30-year primary conventional at 5.9, right?
Yeah, I think we're going there. Yeah. Sub 6.
The second that the news and the clickbait comes out that average mortgage rates are 5.99 or 5.93, whatever,
Yeah.
your first time home buyers, anybody sitting on the sidelines, anybody even for a move up buyer, automatically, not because it's that much difference between a 6.1 and a 5.99, it's the
Just
mental
psychology.
emotion that's going to do it. 5.5 is a whole nother ball game because now
Yeah.
the psychology is like it's close enough to 5. I'm almost
Exactly.
I could buy down to 4.9. Like it's
Yeah.
I would say it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like a bell curve with the interest. The further that we get, of course,
Yeah.
for these new purchases and clients looking for new purchases.
That's a good point you brought up there. Because again, if the average is 5.5, that means a lot of people are getting 4.99, right? You
Yeah,
can probably buy down to 4.99. That's going to be wild.
yeah.
It's going to be wild. So what else is going on? What DSCR and conventional still close? What's going on there?
Those DS, we said this a month ago, or I did, or in the last few videos. Like DSCR across the board. I mean, look, you know from firsthand doing with us right now and seeing
Yeah.
initial disclosures, like they are lower currently than conventional loans, and it's not
Yeah.
like because that's the norm. It's because it's December,
Yeah.
and come December 31st, these hedge funds need to make sure that they've lent out enough money. So they
Yeah.
have put their foot forward and said, we're going to do it. Fannie and Freddie don't care. They don't have any quotas they got to hit, right?
Right.
Neither does the VA or FHA. So we'll see
Yeah.
how long that lasts and, take advantage of it if you can.
Yeah, and this is not a commitment on your part, and believe me, I would never do that to you. But I'm just curious. When you looked at the two loans we that Olivia and I are doing with you, did you guys pencil those in as December business, or did you pencil them in as January business? Just curious.
They're probably going to be January. Could we push through it and get through December? Yes, if there wasn't a thing as Christmas and New Year's, because when that
Yeah,
happens, people take 3
yeah,
days off for Christmas Eve, Christmas, the day after Christmas,
yeah,
New
yeah,
Year's Eve,
yeah.
it's a short month.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to us either way. I wasn't trying to press you. I was just curious
No,
when you looked at the business if you thought these were December or January. But yeah, I was just curious.
yeah. I mean, we could.
It doesn't matter to us either way. Next year's fine. But at the end of the day, folks, I think if you are a real estate investor, I think rate and term makes a lot of sense if you gambled with 2-1 buy downs. I do suggest a lot of people at least evaluate their portfolio for cash out. Again, we started with one, now doing two, because we want that dry powder. Because again, we want to write strong offers, 10-day close, cash, all of that. And purchase market could turn on fire next year if rates go 5.99 and heaven forbid 5.5. Dustin, if somebody wanted to reach out and start something, what do they do?
Go to our website, convoyhomeloans.com, and just make sure you click the drop down that says you came from ORAT.
All right, buddy. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful week. Thanks again.
Thanks, buddy.